YouTube is getting sued. Legman got banned. And Drake played Fortnite. All this and much more coming up in Pew News. I'm Anders Coopers, and you're watching Beanie. The most legitimate news source in the entire galaxy. Pew News. That's right. Excuse me for a second, guys. We have our own merch now. Check it out, link in the description. The first story is extremely upsetting. If you have a girlfriend or perhaps a pillow, anime pillow, I urge you to get them right now, because this story is extremely upsetting. After appearing in another PewDiePie video, YouTube decided that kicking a wall is hate speech. Actually, if you remember, Legman made a video kicking the wall for 12 minutes. I reacted to it. Then he made a video kicking PewDiePie's face for 12 minutes. It got flagged for hate speech. Let's watch the video. It's extremely emotional.
Your video, me bro-fussing a picture of PewDiePie for 12 minutes and 29 seconds, was flagged for review. Upon review, we've determined that it violates our guidelines. We've removed it from YouTube and assigned a community guidelines strike or temporary penalty to your account. Reason: violation of YouTube's policy on hate speech. The goal of my content is always to entertain.
Thank you, YouTube, finally for striking down on hate speech. I've been waiting for them to finally take action upon these dreadful acts of bro-footing. This does, in fact, open up the discussion of what really counts as hate speech. Clearly, if YouTube thinks this is hate speech, where does the line draw? It seems all over the place, you could say. It seems we have quite a foot of trouble. That's not the expression, but I tried at least. On other social media platforms, you can get banned for hate speech by making a crude joke to your friend, perhaps. I know that happens on Twitter, and I know that happens on Twitch, but on YouTube, we haven't really seen a lot of hate speech violations being striked. So does this mean that they're gonna strike in more on hate speech on YouTube? If YouTube is doing more strikes against hate speech and that line is being blurred, then that means that it could potentially change the entire website. You have previously the site has just been run by a community sort of repercussion to things. You have iDubbbz making content cuts, you have other YouTubers criticizing each other when stepping over the line, because YouTube itself is literally just another apple dangling in front of you of the next greedy thing and the next greedy move that you can make to further your channel, but then at least there's some community repercussion if you do it, or at least excessively. Let's say you keep begging for likes or boasting with money in front of kids and I don't know, making sexual awkward content and just shit in general. People are gonna call you out on it. Does this mean you can't do that anymore? You can't criticize other people, or you can't even bro-food people? Where does the line draw? And that's always a question when it comes to YouTube. I don't know, neither do you know, anyone know. Next news in Pew News, everybody. Drake played Fortnite. Drake played Fortnite? Oh my god. Drake play. Are you kidding me right now?
Oh yeah, my thing.
We live in a crazy world, guys. I just had to reflect upon the news there for a second. I know I'm supposed to remain biased. I know I'm supposed to remain biased and not have my own opinion on the show, which I don't have, by the way. I'm completely neutral, politically in all ever sense ever. But Drake playing Fortnite, that is just absolutely crazy. That is off the balls to the walls. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? I like how all the news media organizations, yeah, that's right, I'm calling you out. None of them mention Ninja, which is the guy who actually had the stream. Drake sets record with his Fortnite Battle Royale Twitch debut. It's like, no, well, Ninja is pretty damn big in himself. He recently became the biggest person on Twitch. I think he has the most followers. So apparently this stream was the biggest stream from that wasn't a tournament and was from a personal perspective. You keep seeing more and more records being broken in the streaming industry, and it really makes me feel like, yeah, I probably should keep streaming. Too bad I am banned forever from streaming at any social platform, because I once tried to cross a bridge and it didn't go well. I'm joking, of course. I just still have ish internet. I wished I was a joke. I've legit been waiting 7 months to get better internet, but apparently I live in a black hole. So I can't. But also, you're playing the most popular game right now, which is Fortnite, which I deliberately don't want to play because I'm so tired of battle royales. And then you have this rapper, which I think is the softest rapper of all time, basically the Ellen DeGeneres of rap. And I love rap music, but I honestly think Drake, I don't really understand his appeal. It's just not my type of rap. And you have these two things, and then just combined turns into the biggest stream of all time. And here I am, being salty about it, but at least trying to benefit a little bit from the breadcrumbs that are left in a clickbait title by bringing up this topic without really giving any form of personal input or adding any value to the conversation. Welcome to Pew News, everybody. Moving on to the next segment. Brad is going to tell us the weather. Take it, Brad. Go ahead. Show them what the weather is.
Salty as shit.
Diversity. Big topic. Controversial. We want a workforce that is more diverse, so we don't discriminate against a group of people by discriminating against white people. Diversity. Recently, you may have heard YouTube is getting sued, or at least Google, for allegedly refusing to hire white and Asian men. Now, Google is no stranger to being sued. It happens a lot of times, and I'm not by any means trying to make this a bigger thing than it is. Well, actually, I am going to do that. A lot of times when I see these lawsuits, I sort of think this is opportunistic, not a big deal, but I saw this headline and I found it very, very interesting. Just to run through the article very briefly, Google allegedly got sued for pressuring recruiters, the people hiring at the company, to only look for female, Black and Hispanic or Latinx applicants. They also claimed that Google implemented clear and irrefutable policies meant to exclude white and Asian men in an attempt to increase the company's overall diversity, which then led to this recruiter being fired in November 2017. Google responded saying, "We have a clear policy to hire candidates based on their merit, not their identity." The problem with diversity is you're walking a thin line. It's almost a paradox that by increasing diversity, you are discriminating by trying to not discriminate. And I'm not necessarily against diversity. Personally, I run a very, very small business. I don't need to care about any of these things. Efficiency matters more to me than anything else. Whether you're a male, female, sex, sexual orientation, race, age, it doesn't have any impact for me. But you have a big company like Google, it would be ignorant to at least not take these things into account. Google Diversity says a diverse mix of voices leads to better discussions, decisions, and outcomes for everyone. I'm sort of stuck in between here. It's sort of hard to not agree with this statement, but at the same time, you're also accepting the fact that someone's idea matters more because of their skin color, which in today's society is 100% true. The reason why I find this article and lawsuit so interesting is because there's been so much pressure on companies to have more diversity, to have more, especially in Hollywood with all the movies and all that stuff. And it's a shameful act to just be all white male in a meeting and stuff like that. But when I see this article, I feel like this marks a moment where we finally hit the other end of the spectrum, where we're actually discriminating in an attempt to not discriminate. It's sort of we reached the other side of the fence, and I'm curious to see if this is the breaking of the bubble that's finally happening. I think there's an issue with a lot of good ideas that get clouded by the fact that you have to appear good instead of doing good. Imagine having to question your ability in the workforce based on your skin color. At least having to doubt it now when these sort of things comes out, that people potentially hire you because of increasing of diversity and fitting a quota, rather than hiring you because you're the right person for the job. To me, that seems racist, and that's why I think we come across the circle. And maybe now we can actually talk about these ideas and discuss them in a level-headed manner instead of just yelling racist at each other. But then again, who am I? How I got a job at BuzzFeed: by walking through the door. There's also this Onion article that recently came out. New workplace diversity initiative kills one white employee every hour on the hour until more minority candidates hired. How progressive. Makes me really happy to see. That was it for this week's Pew News. Pew, I love Pew News. I learned so much. Buy the mugs, guys. And you can become... Don't be broke, be woke, everybody, and buy a mug. That's right. I'm Anders Coopers, and that was Pew News. Goodbye, everybody.
That's my thing.